Hello, in this video, I'll show you the most important step when it comes to achieving the perfect results regarding the base skin texture every time you use frequency separation. So meaning every time you mess up with this step, it means your final skin textures after you have done the frequency separation are always going to be affected or determined by this very important step. So I want first of all go in depth about how to do this right, and I'll show you the do's and don'ts later on in this very video. So I'll just come to the background image right here and simply explain to you how to do the frequency separation right. So first of all, come to the background image and create two copies from the background image, and I'm just going to come and name this to color, and I'm just going to name this to texture. So just come to texture, and after naming these two into colors and texture, I'll simply come to the color layer and turn off the texture layer. So usually every time you're trying to use frequency separation, it always stops at that point. For those people that use actions, it stops at this point whereby you have to determine the amount of Gaussian blur that you want to apply or you'd like to apply to the skin. So for this step, I'm just going to do this manually. Come to filter, come to blur, and come to Gaussian blur. So I'm just going to leave the radius to the minimum, which is 0.1. So for this step, or in most of my tutorials, I always recommend that you always choose or sample an area that has prominent skin details. So for this case, the forehead area has prominent or more skin textures regarding this very image. So what I always recommend is you have to blur away the details or the textures by coming to the radius slider, click and hold down on this pointer, and you drag it forward. So when you drag it forward without releasing the button, you see no effect in real time. But to see quicker results, this is what you have to do. Simply click on this radius slider. Remember, we want to stop at that point whereby we are just starting to lose out on the prominent skin details in this very image. So just come to the radius slider, click and drag up, then release on this pointer, stop clicking on it to see the effect in real time, and continue moving it forward just like that. So move it gradually as you are releasing the click button to see the effect on the skin. So I'll just move this forward. So at about 7, that is when the textures are just starting to disappear from the image, but I can still identify some of the outlines regarding this very image, and I can still look at where the textures were initially, and I'll just come and click OK. So you can see I have manually moved this, and I was not trying to guess the radius to use for this kind of image. So I'll just come and turn on the texture layer, select it, then I'm just going to come to image, apply image, then layer, select color layer, blending, select subtract, the scale is 2 offset 128. I'll click OK, change the blend mode from normal, and I'll change it to linear light. So I'm just going to put these two in a group briefly, and I show you that even when we come and we use the mixer brush tool to blend the skin color transitions, the results are going to look better and more realistic. So I'm just going to come to the mixer brush tool, and for settings, basically soft round brush is selected, hardness is set to 0, clean brush is selected. This second option, that is clean brush after each stroke, is selected. The weight is 9%, load 75, mix is 90, flow 100%, flow is 100%. Then make sure sample order is not turned on. So usually I recommend that you slightly or briefly turn off the texture layer and start blending the tones over the skin. So I'm just going to do this like that and follow the direction of the model's face or body depending on where you're trying to blend. So you can see right now the skin tends to look a little bit too smooth, but the textures are still left intact within the image. So I'm just going to show you the results after blending in majority of the areas of the skin. So you can see right now we have just worked on the forehead area, and when we come and we turn on the texture layer, you can see the natural textures have been left intact within the image, but we have just worked on the colors. You can see before, after, before, after, before, after. The initial textures have been left intact in this very image, and we have just worked on the colors. That is why, or that is the best way to use frequency separation to determine the best kind of textures. So I'm just going to delete this. So let me first of all show you the wrong way to do this. And once you mess up with this step, it means the final textures are always going to be messed up when it comes to this. So I'm just going to be using my action. So I'm just going to come and I use my action. So I'm just going to play this. So the mistake most people do, they use a very low radius. So let me show you the results for using a very low radius. So for this, I'm just going to use about 1.1 pixels and I'll click OK. So you can see action has played, and I'm just going to come and I start painting over the skin. You can see when I start painting, remember I've turned off the texture layer, but you can see how plastic the image is looking at this point. So I'm just going to quickly paint right on the forehead area so that I can get to show you the results. So I'm just going to quickly blend the forehead area. You can see already it even looks very, very plastic as opposed to before. You can see how plastic the image has gotten to be. So when you come and return on the textures, you can see the textures have been lost out completely, and this doesn't look natural enough. You can see how weird or how plastic the image has gotten to be regarding the forehead of the subject. So you have to make sure that you don't use a very low Gaussian blur radius for your images, because a very low radius is going to make you lose out majority of the textures in the image, and you are going to be ending up with a very plastic kind of image. So let me first of all show you when you use a very high radius, that is not recommendable, because using a very high radius is also going to be affecting the textures, because it is going to retain most of those textures, so that when you come and you start using the Mr. Brush tool, you are going to be ending up with the details and no effect at all. So I'll just come to the action and I show you using a very high radius. So I'm just going to play this. So for this, I'm just going to use a very high radius of about 30 and I'll click OK. Then I'm just going to come and turn on the texture layer because I can't even see where to blend. So I'm just going to start blending. You can see I've used a very high radius. So when you try to blend, when you use a very high Gaussian blur radius for your image, you can see that however much you try blending the skin color or the skin tones, there is no effect at all. You can say before, after, before, after. The effect is very, very tiny and very minimal because we use a very high Gaussian blur radius and we did not follow the right process. So the right process is after playing the action, or whenever you're trying to apply the Gaussian blur radius, take the radius slider down, click on the area that has prominent skin textures in your image, for example, the forehead area. Then the trick here is click on this slider and you drag it up. Then stop clicking on it to see the effect on the texture and click once again and drag it up. Look at the texture and click once again and drag up. Look at the texture, drag up. Look at the texture. So you have to stop at the point whereby the textures are just starting to get lost or disappear from the image. So this is the right way to do this, and click OK. And I prefer to turn on the texture layer and I start blending. So usually I recommend that you retouch at a distance. So when I use the Mr. Brush tool to try to blend quickly on the forehead area, I'm just doing a very quick process here so that you guys can see the effect right here. So I'm just doing this quick. So when you turn on the texture layer, you can see the before, after. You can see we have blended the skin tones of the model's body, but we have retained every single texture that was meant to be on the model's skin. So I hope you have understood the emphasis of this very video. Remember, Gaussian blur that you apply for your frequency separation is going to determine the final results regarding your textures in the edited photo. So you have to take this into consideration the next time you're going to be using frequency separation as a skin retouching technique. Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in yet more videos on this channel. Don't forget, keep practicing, and as well keep creating.